and made some big shots. So no, it was just really good to see them go out and play hard.
Coleman, for you personally, what was your process individually for flushing Wednesday and turning the page quickly?
And I had to delete some apps, just get off social media, just trying to limit who I talk to, not make any excuses for myself, and just be a man, really, just man up and on to the next, and that's what I did tonight. A lot of people would, honestly, like a lot of people were saying, whatever they had to say, I'm curious to see how they would have responded if they were me. But I thought I did a good job of just being tough and going out tonight and letting everything go.
Coleman, kind of along those lines, you closed this game out, outscored them by 10 over the last 6 minutes. Was the way the previous game ended in the back of your mind at all, or were you just kind of in the moment?
Yeah, not at all, no. I was just in the moment, just focused on playing hard for sure. Wasn't even thinking about it.
As for Coleman and Justin, what does Nico add, especially offensively, to you guys when he gets the opportunity to have those minutes like that?
I think he adds a different pace. Just pace coming off ball screens, looking low opposite. He's good at those skips. Coming off ball screens, he's good at reading ball screens and an extra passer. And then just a little bit of bite on defense. He's a smaller guard, but he's fast. He's it's a little bit easier for him to get through those ball screens because he's a little bit smaller, and we almost at times have 4 or 5 forwards on the court. So no, it's good to see Nico go out there and play the way he did tonight. You got some?
I agree.
Justin, I'll ask you this one then. What did it look like seeing Nico hit those 2 threes to get the lead back, and what's that say about him to step into that moment and help you guys close out the game?
It was amazing. I always I like seeing my teammates win. It was just amazing seeing him hit them 2 big shots that helped us bring the lead a little farther away, and it just helped him bring his confidence up, because when he get in the game again, he gonna do the same thing. So it was good that he hit those 2 threes.
As for you, Nico, you start to get in the rotation, you get hurt. How did you kind of navigate all of that, and what kept you, grounded or ready to be able to make this impact like you did?
My teammates, staff, always try to stay around me and keep me focused, mentally. Started came in the gym more than everybody else with treatment, and then with time with the ball coming back, and but it was hard mentally first of all, and try to get into practice, and you're not able to do what you used to be, and but I'm glad now that they be helping me, and I'm glad they're around me. So.
Coleman and Monty's giving you guys some good minutes, and also guys had to come back from injury. What have you seen where he is now versus maybe earlier in the season?
Yeah, I think Amani adds some strength. He's 6'6", 240, 250. Just not allowing post touches, not allowing bigs to get deep. It's hard to score over him because he's so strong. He has long arms, and he just plays hard. He's a freshman, but he goes out and plays as hard as he can. He's always trying to make the right, ball screen calls. He's always talking on defense. So he's just been a good motor for us. He's been positive for us, good teammate, and he just adds a little different dimension because he's a little undersized, but still he still gets the job done. So.
Justin, what was the difference defensively, maybe between the halves? Because Iowa shot 62% in the first half, 35% in the second.
I just feel like we was being way more physical and way more urgency on the defensive end. I feel like they got a little bit middle. They got middle a lot in the first half, and that led to easy buckets. But we just listened to our bigs and honored the call, and we just played with way more urgency on the defensive side, and it led to easy buckets on the offensive side. So that was great to see.
Coleman, this is 5 straight seasons of 20-plus wins, winning Big Ten seasons every year. You've been a part of 4 of those. What's that say about the program? What's it say about what you guys have done?
No, it's big time because obviously when I committed, I was fully aware of where the program was going. So it's good to see that everything's still continuing, and now it's starting to become a tradition. I always when I first got to Illinois, my biggest thing was like just making the program stay to like a place where like someone gets excited if they get an offer from Illinois. Being big for like recruits, that's something that means a lot. When people are excited, that Illinois offered them. Illinois is a basketball school, and they're super excited to want to be a part of something like this. And I hope that everybody realizes that we're right there with some of the best, and we're capable of doing this every season because we got great guys around us, great staff, and great fans, and everybody's great here. So.
Nico, how would you describe the feeling of having that moment today?
Needed, because after I went through this season and with the injury, it was a little bit as I said, hard. But I'm happy for the team first of all, and then second of all as myself. So, but a big boost of confidence, and I'm happy.
Sometimes, I've said it many times, that it's, I like this team a lot, and I use the word team in all caps. Today was an unbelievable team victory, and it was not easy. Iowa was playing great. They're just won at Michigan State. Fran, in my opinion, is as good an offensive coach as there is in the country. Just developing guys, getting them to play at a high level. I actually felt, other than the last play of the half, the last sequence of the half, I actually felt pretty good at half because I thought we'd forced Dix and some of those guys into some pretty hard shots that they made. But could not be prouder of Coleman. Growth, maturity, great bounce back from the other night. Obviously, a night where Marcus and Terrence didn't have their best, and yet we found a way. I thought Dane, I thought Amani did great jobs. Dane had 8 rebounds, missed a couple bunnies, but and then I thought Amani's presence was very, very impactful. Nico hadn't made a basket in a month, but you can tell he's a coach's kid. You can tell he's a team guy. He's never gotten wrapped up into any of that. He's never come and asked me, what do I have to do to play? He just shows up every single day and does his job, gets an extra lift with Fletch every day. And it's amazing how good things happen to people who work hard. And then I've been pretty upset with Justin after the game at Penn State. He gave up 5 back cuts and just mistakes. They're just mistakes, and especially when you spend a ton of time on them. And you can't go make mistakes. And I let him set a long time in the first half, and and yet he responded. Maybe that bench is a pretty good motivator sometimes. But our bench won us the game. Our defense, I thought, in the second half was outstanding. 35%, 16% from 3. They made 1, and we had enough. And that's hard to do sometimes because you have to score against Iowa because they're going to make some tough shots. So great team win today.
Brett, defensively, obviously, they only get 19 shots at the rim instead of, some of the other games where we've seen 25, 30 shots at the rim, more points to the paint. Was this what you envisioned when you forced tough twos here?
Yeah. Our whole, it's not rocket science what we do. It's tough twos and then it's limit them to one shot. I thought we did a much better job, especially in the second half. Nico gets a lot of credit just guarding the ball and keeping it in front of us. And I think we've somebody told me we gave up the fewest layups that we have since the Rutgers game, maybe the first one. Again, my hat's off to Nico. Our guys guarded the ball better, and again, we can't have mistakes. That's all I've been harping on. You can't make mistakes. You can't make scouting report mistakes. You got to be able to take away what the other team does, and that's obviously been a factor of that.
Brad, similar situation to the Penn State game back here. Up 10 with 2 minutes left. Did you sense a different attitude with the guys this time? Like they learned what not to do to, avoid that collapse?
Not at all. It was the same way. You guys got to understand, we didn't talk for 1 second about the Penn State game. We didn't show one clip. We didn't even grade it out. And there's a difference between having freshmen and younger teams who know. Terrence Shannon knew he shouldn't have dribbled. He had 3 guys open. Coleman knew he shouldn't have fouled. He missed 2 free throws. We took a quick shot. They all knew. And we talk about situations repeatedly. So it was more about the mental approach and our ability to guard. So I didn't worry about that for 5 seconds. We did it the game before at Maryland. We put it away. So that's just a fluke. It happens, and we just flushed it, so to speak.
Coach, was it the game plan to come into this game to use or to go that deep into the bench? And
not really.
That's what I thought. And what was kind of behind the line change there a couple minutes into the second half?
I was just thrilled with the way the first group played. I was so excited about us not getting on the floor and giving up rebounds and I had seen enough with that group and their butt needed to find the bench, and they needed to understand it's not acceptable, and playing time is not a given thing. Just because you average this or you've been out there, and I've said it, we've got a really good team, and I couldn't be prouder that it worked today. But I've made a lot of line changes over the years in different ways, but I also had a lot of confidence in what that group can do because I see them every day.
Brad, I understand the motivational aspect of the line change from that standpoint, but specifically to Nico, what did you see from him that also gave you the confidence to have him close the game out like he did?
He's really fast. My concerns with Nico are never on the offensive end. They've always been about defensively, but I kept him in because of what he was doing on the defensive side. He got over the top of every ball screen. He didn't foul. I mean, we all know he might weigh $170 soaking wet, and yet he's in there fighting and competing. And they tried to post him 2 or 3 times. He committed a foul. I didn't think it was a foul, but then he's got the ability to break the defense down. He gives us a different look. And again, at a night when TJ and Mark weren't great, it created some opportunities and to drive the ball and playing ball screens. And he was great, and he wasn't afraid to take a couple threes when he was wide open.
Brad, you said this was growth and maturity for Coleman. Obviously, he's doing that throughout his career, but what did it look like the last couple of days, and what did he show you?
What did he tell you?
Didn't say much specifically. Got off social media, he said.
Anybody want to check that? Yeah, all those conversations stay really private, but we had a get real conversation, and I'm really happy with him. I love his response. A year or two ago, I'm not sure that would have been the response. I think it was beneficial. We had a pretty quick turnaround in a game, but he practiced great, and it's just the correlation that happens with when the mind is right and the mental approach is right. It was not at Penn State, quite simply not, and he knows that. But he also has to understand the impact that it has on everybody at this university, every fan, every teammate, and it's bigger than just him. And so I couldn't be happier. I thought Coleman was just fantastic today.
So, Brad, Coleman had a really good effort play there that led to a steal, and I saw you gave him a high five. What are those type of plays just mean for the team?
Well, as a veteran and as a leader, that's really contagious. And we played this same Iowa team, and it took DeMonte Williams diving on the floor for a loose ball to win a championship. And that's how you win. And my point of frustration is it's not just a Big Ten game. It's the abruptness of the end that happens if you don't make that play in the NCAA tournament. And we can't pick and choose when we do those moments. And he was picking and choosing. And the game will never treat you right if you do that. So growth, I hope it continues to be very contagious and diving on loose balls and challenging the rim. And I thought Amani did the same thing. I thought we had multiple guys on the floor today. So those are all the hustle plays that let you advance in March.
Brad, I know you've always been a big fan of Amani's game. What's led to where he can give you this kind of shot in the arm?
Practice. I've said this many times. I think Amani would be playing 20-plus minutes a game if it was not for his injury. Extremely high IQ. I don't know how to describe him. He's nasty. He's just got a nasty, competitive, gritty, fiery. He is the greatest trash talker we've had here since IO. He fights you. He is just that kid. That's who he is, and it's every day and it's every play. And we missed that when he was out. But you put that along the way, that he's a really, really smart player, and he'd be helping us.
I mean, even if maybe the plan wasn't to play the number of guys you did, the number of minutes that they got, I mean, does that make you sort of reevaluate how you've used your bench maybe in your rotation?
I don't go in with a plan. I go in to win. And sometimes, yeah. We've had a unique season in the fact that we haven't been really healthy and whole and we've had some other issues. So we had to do what we had to do to survive, to win. And it's nice to kind of be getting back there a little bit. I'm so happy with Dane and Amani today. But again, it's just it gives me comfort to see them do it. I'm not saying it was planned, but it's nice to know that it worked out right.
Brett, 5 straight 20-win seasons. First time since Lou Henson. What's that mean to you?
Well, I think it's really hard to do in this league. I don't want anybody to ever take that for granted. Great coaches, great players, great administration. You look at what we've done with this building, the State Farm Center. You look at what we've done with Ubben. It's speaks volumes to a lot of people, not just one individual, but we've had really good players, and I love consistency. I've never been here to try to have a great team. I've been here to try to have a great program, and to try to withstand that through the course of the time in what is the best league in the country, and the best fans. So, but on the other hand, I think it should kind of be the norm here. I think this is a really, really good job, and you can win national championships here. And I've said that many times. And throw the piano on my back. I'm good. I can handle that. But that's our expectation here. So, my opinion is, go get 5 more. Why stop? I think it's within the realm. But I think today Derek told me was the 1,000th win in Big Ten play of our program, and I think that there's only one other school. Is that right? One other school to accomplish that. Wow, that speaks to everything I talk about how great this program is, and we have to look at it that way. If we're not, then damn it, leave. I mean, we have to think about how great this place is, and this program is, and so I do. So I'm consistency part of it. That means a lot. That really does. It means a lot because we're in the best league in the country, and there's a lot of really good coaches and players. But we should be. Kind of an arrogant attitude, but we should be.
Brad, Nico described his game today as needed. I guess, how did you see him navigate? Like, he'd gotten into the rotation, then he gets hurt, and he had to come back. Like, how did you see him kind of work his way through this whole season?
As well as anyone could do it. He never beat my door down. He showed up every day. He got the extra lifts. And what an unbelievable teammate and what an unbelievable statement for every basketball player out there. No matter what level you are, when your time comes and you're needed, can you help your team win because you're prepared? I'm sure he went in today not saying I'm playing 18 minutes. He had no idea. That's the ultimate teammate. It's the ultimate mental approach, staying ready, and he has handled that as perfectly as any player I've been around. That was awesome today. That was fun to see.
Yeah, Brad, I saw yesterday you mentioned you were considering some slight tweaks on defense. It seemed today that you weren't switching as much 1 through 4. Was that Iowa specific, or is that something that you might consider more of as you move forward?
We're trying to eliminate some mistakes. We're trying to be very conscious of matchups. It was both. It was, to be very honest. Perkins is a handful. And, the high ball screen, switching, their movement, their flares are all issues. But, it's something the more we're trying to just eliminate some mistakes and keep matchups a little more intact.
With the way you guys played off the bench, does that just give you more comfort as a coach if you need to make a big change like you did, that you can do that and there won't be a drop-off?
Absolutely. I mean, anytime guys play well, I think there's tremendous value in that. And like I mentioned earlier, it's we haven't had that luxury because we haven't truly been healthy, and we're trying to fight through just getting that back and seeing what that looks like right now. So I'm, like I said, sure, it gives me a lot of confidence knowing that Nico Moretti's going to be ready and that Amani's growing into what we thought he was going to be.
Especially in the first half, like what was maybe some of the disconnect there defensively?
I don't know if we weren't our best, but you got to give Iowa credit. They make you look like that. I mean, we were on spin cycle the entire game, and credit them. They took advantage of, our help defense, and then they got kickouts, and now we're playing in rotations. And we're a team, we don't want to play in rotations. We want to try to keep the ball in front, stay one-on-one. So it starts with our ball screen coverage. We weren't as sharp in. And then again, I just give Iowa all the credit because they were super aggressive in getting downhill and getting to the paint, and that just opened up. I mean, they hit 17 threes. You can't beat anyone when they hit 17 threes, and that was all from inside-out action.
And that being said, Italia, for the most part, especially in the first half, was it as good as I think you could hope to do on Caitlin? Like, what did you see from her?
Yeah, I mean, I thought we did a good job overall on Caitlin. I mean, she's such a just talented player. Obviously, you're never going to totally hold her down, but I thought we made her work for her stuff. But I also think Caitlin did an elite job of coming out and really being a facilitator, which I kind of had a hunch she would do, really trying to end this game after Indiana, really getting her teammates involved, and she just draws so much attention. So you're so concerned about her And then she is, I think her best skill set, obviously, besides she can pass. She can pass the ball in her vision. Those things, they're just on point every pass. So she really set up, those 17 threes that they made. A lot of them were from her.
How tough is she to defend when she can do all that stuff?
She's so hard to guard, and you try to put different people on her just to keep someone fresh on her. But I think that's why she's so hard, is because of her ability to pass the ball. Mm-hmm. She's not just a scorer, and so she can get in there, and she's so great at and their offense. It's obviously tailor-made to fit their personnel, and she's incredibly difficult to stop. And I thought we did a great job for the most part. And she had 24 points, and I know how many assists. So. Just an elite player, and I've said it, I think she's the best ever, to ever play.
Sean, was it your game plan to make her give the ball up, to have her spread around to other people?
No, I just had a feeling she was going to come in to this game really wanting to do that and getting, her teammates some open shots, but she's just, again, elite passer, elite scorer. We want to just try to limit her touches as much as we can and be there on everything, and I thought we did. She hit a couple of really tough shots, but otherwise most of her stuff was in transition and around, and it's hard.
Was that maybe the most disappointing thing, Sean, was just their ability to get out on the break and get easy buckets that way against you guys, and have you guys maybe not get back as much as you want?
Again, we knew coming in, I think I told you guys that the defensive transition was going to be key, but they're just so quick with getting that ball up the floor, and so if you have a turnover or even a shot that you don't make, which in the first half, we weren't making some of those shots we normally make, so now they have opportunities to get out and run. Second half, I felt like we didn't give up as many in transition, but they're really, really good at it, and all of them. And Caitlin does a great job of just advancing the ball too.
It kind of felt like a moment for Makaira to play as well and efficiently as she did. Really, what can that do the next two and going into Minneapolis?
Makaira loves these moments, right? She always plays well against these environments, and that's a gamer in her, the competitive nature of her. Her and Claude, it was fun watching her go back and forth, a few times, and so I think she was really, really good today, and just really took over at certain points. And then I thought her defense was really good when she was on Clark too. So we need her to do that. We had a very balanced scoring with all five in double figures, and we just need to continue that scoring. We just can't give up 100 points in conference play and expect to win games.
So what's your message to your team? You guys obviously played a top 5 team on the road, but what's your message to your girls, your women in the locker room?
My message was, we fought, and that's what I loved. We fought. We didn't just quit ever, and we made runs. We won the third quarter, and we lost the fourth quarter by only 3. We just can't we can't get down. You can't get down in this environment by 15 or so points. You just can't do that against a team like Iowa. So I said, we are like every other game. We're going to learn from this. We're going to look at it. We got to figure out why we were in rotation so much. We'll go to work on that, and we're right back at it at Michigan State. So I don't want them to be mad, be upset you lost, because no one likes to lose. But we just played a really, really good team on their home floor after they just got beat by a really good team, and we knew we were going to get a really strong fight, and we did. And again, I give Iowa all the credit. They just played a extremely team win for them today.
Not to belabor the point about the environment, but what was it like? I know you had talked about it and thought you knew. What was it like to actually be a part of that?
I think it did rouse us early. You can try to prepare, but it got loud in there, and there was times, and they were intentional. Caitlin was getting them going after even the first couple of defensive possessions. She was getting them going, so it was really, really loud, and I think it kind of took us out of a rhythm early on, and then I told them, we settled in and we were a little bit better, but it's hard that first half because I'm trying to call stuff and they're down there. So there was a lot of times on timeouts, I'm giving them, multiple plays, but then when there's some, and I thought that then we got some stagnant sometimes, and, but a great environment. It's obviously a home court advantage, and it was fun though, right? This is what women's basketball should be like, and just what an unbelievable atmosphere that they've created. Thank you guys, appreciate it.
Obviously, Caitlin, but what makes Iowa so difficult to defend?
I think her ability to not just score, but only facilitate for her teammates, and I think she did a good job of that today, because I think Dallin Gretchen did a really good job of just kind of limiting her and making her take contested shots. There were a couple she got free on, but she's Caitlin, so she's going to. But I thought Dallin Gretchen did a great job of that, but we just got to make sure the other guys, so like when we're not on her, like we've got to rotate out and we've got to help them a little bit. So I think it was just they had us in rotation and Kate was able to facilitate.
The opening quarter, obviously, did you guys, it's just so hard to prepare for an environment like that when you guys get blitzed and it gets loud. You've been in that environment before, but a lot of people on the floor maybe hadn't.
Yeah, it was a little hectic at first, I think. I mean, I've obviously played here before. We played at Indiana a lot, so like I was prepared. But it was just, it's sometimes when the game gets going like that fast, and they want to speed us up, and it gets loud. You're sped up, and you can't hear what your coach is saying. So I think it got a little hectic, but I think we were able to kind of settle down in the second half.
You know, being a senior, being around this for a while, what is your message to your teammates to not let this one loss spiral down? Because you guys are on a roll. What is the message to keep going, keep this win streak, not win streak, but this momentum going?
Yeah, I mean, they're a good team. I mean, they're, I think, number 2 in the country right now. So, I mean, we played them, I mean, we had some mistakes, and that's fine. But, you know, we played them to 13, 15, whatever the final score was. So, it's, I mean, we did our best. We didn't give up, and I think that's the key thing. There's been some games this season where we've just kind of rolled over when teams kind of throw a punch at us. But I thought we kept punching. We kept doing it. You know, we were very together, and I think we've got to stay together. And, you know, on the court, everyone's, you know, whoever's guarding Caitlin, we're like, you're good. Like, she's going to score, like, next play. And, you know, telling each other what we need to do. So there's good communication between us, and we just got to keep that going, roll through.
You guys got within 11, and it felt like you were right on the cusp there. Like, what makes it so difficult to kind of take that one more punch and get over the hump?
It's just we dig ourselves a hole so early, and like, you know, there's been games where we've made the other teams dig themselves a hole, and so it's hard for them to come back. So just I think like that start just killed us, and then you're having to push extra hard and claw your way back, like in the third and fourth when they're trying to make sure like you're finished. So I think it's just the timing of it all. We've just got to have, I think, better starts.
Been here before, but like, what did you make of Parkville and kind of what this turned into?
I think it's really cool for women's basketball. You know, I think it's cool to see a program have the kind of like love from fans and like little kids. So I think it's great for the sport, and it's cool to have, you know, a player be able to bring that on herself. So I think it's pretty cool.
Obviously, now you Caitlin a lot. Like, what is that like? What makes her difficult to guard with kind of her full skill set?
Yeah, she's very quick and she uses screens really well. You know, it's hard getting over screens and when she's coming off it really fast. And like I said, she's a quick player and very, she has a really high IQ. So she's really hard to guard and she's good player.
Do you guys come away with this feeling like you played really well, at least for 30 minutes, the final 30 minutes, even though, you know, you lose by, you know, double digits?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's all about like focusing on like never giving up, and I feel like we fought as much as we could, and it's just all about not digging ourselves a hole and getting that, you know, behind in the game. But overall, we talk about how we are proud of not giving up, and it's just that's what it's all about. Just keep fighting to the end.
Coach Charlotte Green mentioned to us last year in the press conference she thought you could be an all Big Ten defensive player. What does it mean to you back-to-back years? Because you guarded Caitlin Clark last year, and your assignment was to guard her again this year. What does that say about you as a defensive player, and how tough was it?
Yeah, it was really tough, like I said, but I take pride on defense, and you know, Coach Green always encouraged me and pushed me to be my best on defense and getting stops. And I knew I wasn't going to be able to hold her to 0 points, but it's just all about containing and, you know, giving your best. And that's all I want to do on defense. Like, I want to get stops, and I want to give my best on defense.
What's it like to try to play transition defense against them? Like, say when you miss, I mean, it's almost like you've got a dead sprint to get back.
Yeah, for sure. Like, it's a 40-minute game when you're sprinting down and back. I feel like a track. But we practice it during practice and try to prepare for it, but they play really fast, and it is hard, you know, sprinting back and forth and trying to crash and get overboard, and then you got to get back. So.
We had talked about this 5-game stretch being a gauntlet, and so far you guys are doing pretty well to start this thing. Like, what's key for you guys for the next few to go to Minneapolis with some momentum?
Yeah, just taking a game day by day, and you know, going on and having that mindset of just locking in on the task and you know giving our best in that moment. Like, yeah, we lost today, but now we have another opportunity. You know, thankfully for that. So, same mindset, just going on and you know, learning from this game and being better.
Where's your confidence at? We talked to Shauna about maybe it being at another level over the last maybe week or two, especially in the offensive end and finishing. Is that? Am I seeing something there?
Yeah, you are. My confidence has grown a lot, and you know I thank God for that. That's something I've just been praying about. Like, a lot of players struggle with confidence, but I'm surrounded by a great team, and you know, when you see your hard work paying off, like it builds your confidence. I feel like my confidence is the highest that it's ever been in my career. So just keeping that momentum and staying confident in myself and staying confident in God. That's what I'm
What do you attribute that to? What do you attribute these last couple of weeks of you being maybe your best self to? What do you? What's in that? You know, that made you play your best the last couple of weeks.
Honestly, just staying focused, and like I mentioned, a lot of prayer and my faith. You know, during the game I'm praying, before the game and after, and also my teammates. Like they encourage me so much in every area. They're like, "You're the best driver. Like you're so strong." They tell me all this stuff. So just taking it all in and just understanding like who I am. Like I worked so hard and I came so far. So why not go give my best?
What do you think of all of this today and the way that this community pours into women's basketball? Does anything stand out about it, I guess?
Yeah, they're really loud. But also the fact that thousands of people just came to the women's basketball game, it says a lot. And hopefully that grows over across all teams, you know, all sports. But it was kind of cool just to be in an environment. I've been in an environment before, but these Hawkeye fans, they love them some Iowa basketball, and it was really cool to see.
Thank you.